Yeah, I do. I talk to my fighters a lot, And sometimes I haven't done it, and I regret it later because I could see after that my fighters were stressed and whatnot. The talking part is very important. It's very important. The way you see things is very important. And I think before a fight, it's normal. Think about it. GSP, everybody expects them to win, and not just win, dominate completely. If the fight is close, it's a controversy. People can't believe it. And he's human like everybody else. He has bad days like everybody else. So imagine how much stress. So what I try to tell him is like, no matter what happens, tomorrow we're gonna move on with our lives. We're gonna go on, and we're gonna go on, and we're gonna be successful in one way or another, and we're gonna be happy, and we're gonna move forward. We're gonna survive. This is not that big of a deal. I try not to make it such a big deal because people make it such a big deal. But at the end of the day, if he has a great performance or a bad performance, tomorrow there's another show, another fight, another drama, and people go on with their lives. And people is like, oh, this is historic. People always remember it. Yeah, and they're also going to remember a whole other bunch of fights. And this will always be 1% of a small amount of history of the world. And that's just sports history. It's not world history. And it's so on and so on. And you know what? Generations will forget over time. It's not that important what we do. That's what I try to tell my fighters. It's not that important. Einstein said it best. He goes, look, think about it like this. Just remember how insignificant you are in the whole scope of the universe. We're just a speck of dust in the universe. Is your life really that dramatic? It's that small of a thing, So don't make it that big of a deal in your mind. So that way it's comfortable, It's just another day. It's just another Saturday. It's just another fight. And don't think about all these crazy things you attribute to it. You'll fight better that way. You'll fight better. Because I always tell my fighters, you're not scared of fighting. That's not true. We fight all the time. What you're scared of is the camera and the lights and the people watching and the judgments. That's what you're scared of. You're worried about the judgments because bad days happen. Sometimes guys come in the gym and they kill everybody. And one day they have a bad day. What if that one bad day is on fight night? And that's the one they're recording. That's the one people will remember. That's the one that counts in the record. But I always tell my guys, look, we know if it does happen, and it's a possibility it could happen. We know that's not true. That's what matters. The connoisseurs, the people who know fighting, only the regular Joes think it's not. Some people think you're only as good as your last fight. It's not necessarily true. Guys can have a bad day. Mike Tyson had a bad day. When he fought Buster Douglas, he had a bad fight. Did Buster Douglas do what Mike Tyson did in his career? No. No, you can't say they're the same level of boxer, but you can have a bad day. And I think me as a boxing fan, I didn't think, hey, Buster Douglas is better than Mike Tyson. I never thought that. He was better than him on that night. I think so. I think John Fitch is tough. I think there's a time and place where in his career where you hit him with a baseball bat, it wouldn't faze him. In his mind that was just a mosquito bite type thing. You can toughen the mind that much. But you have to remember that if you read, if you look through history, people used to be a lot tougher than today. I mean, if you look at the Spartans, the history of the Spartans, I mean, this was a tough culture. Our toughest guys today would be an average Joe there. So the limits of human potential are far greater than what we see in terms of toughness today. Our societies are pretty soft these days, comparatively, right? We've dominated nature now. We have it at our beck and call now. You want a warm drink, you snap your fingers. You want a burger, it's a couple of bucks. You don't have to go and tame nature anymore. We've taken care of that. So we've become softer psychologically, but men who wrestle and box, they're still cultivating that culture. So for me, yes, it's 100% feasible for everyone. It's just how you're raised and how you condition yourself. Everybody needs a certain amount of toughness. And today we have more resources, but more depression in the history of mankind. Why? Because we're so mentally weak. And that's why I say it's important to do combat sports. Not important to fight. I don't agree it's important to fight. That's for a certain select few who want to pursue that lifestyle. But you got to cultivate a toughness. And that's by wrestling, boxing, jiu-jitsu. How many of the greatest men in the world were wrestlers? 99% of them. From Plato to Leibniz, they all wrestled. Okay? They all did some type of physical work. Not all of them, but the majority of them. And because everything, after wrestling, everything is simple, You're not going to give up. Wrestling teaches you not to give up, to work hard. And I see people sometimes, I have a depression. It's like, what are you depressed about? We are the billionaires of human history. If you think about it, if you put all of human history on a timeline, we are the richest most comfortable, most disease-free in terms of like the killer diseases, the plagues, and we're still crying and we're still miserable, etc. I mean, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. Really, it is. You know? There were kings in the past that didn't have the luxuries we have today. If you're living at the line of poverty, you're still living better than 99% of human history. You still have a warm bed. You still have food. You have running water. You have a toilet, for goodness sakes. I mean, these are incredible things, but the mind is so warped that it only sees that it doesn't have. It doesn't see what it does have. So, and toughness is a huge factor in that. People are so mentally weak that they can't even enjoy the greatest time in human history. Look, at the end of the day, if you want to have a tougher mind, you have to incrementally toughen yourself up. You know, if you want to become fit, you don't get fit in one day. If you're 20 pounds overweight, you don't lose the 20 pounds in one day. It's a journey. Can you take one step at a time and be persistent? The key is persistence. Toughness will develop. Skill will develop. Greatness will come. But are you persistent enough? Are you too frail? That's the key. And that's a decision you have to make. You know, can you take a couple of beatings? Can you take a licking or two? If not, you're never going to amount to anything. You know, I've never seen a guy walk in here, have a beautiful day every day, amazing, no setbacks, and reach the top. I've never seen it.